I appreciate that you're here, but it's almost my bedtime, so what's up? I mean, no offense, glad you're here, but what's up? Okay, so you're in Unit 3, Trademarks. I see. Trademarks, I think, was actually my favorite part of Unit 3. So, here we are. Let's start. Unit 3 in the whole is about like PR and advertising law and stuff like that, right? So, within PR, you have branding and you have things called trademarks. Or not even PR, just more so advertising. Advertising, you have branding, and in branding you have this thing called trademarks. Trademarks is a form of intellectual property that is like kind of like recognizable or something like that. So the difference between like copyright, which is another type of intellectual property, and trademark. The thing about trademark is that it can confuse, like the harm is that it can confuse consumers and stuff like that, right? So I have on a Mizzou Snuggie. I think I'm gonna use my Mizzou Snuggie for today. So when you look at Mizzou, it's the sporting athletics. It's like tigers, right? Like you see all these tigers underneath the black and gold. Like that's kind of like Mizzou Athletic, or Mizzou's like kind of part of their like trademark brand, like the big solid like Times, Missouri, like a trademark is defined as like a word, a symbol, a name, or a logo, or anything like that that like just like makes like a brand like stand out business entity. So the tiger, Mizzou, the big M, etc. There are 4 types of trademark. There's fanciful, which is just a made up word, right? So like Google is that like a trademark. Google is just a made up word. Like that's the random name of Google. And then there's arbitrary trademarks. So arbitrary trademarks are like, this have literally nothing to do with like what it is. So I have an iPhone and a Mac. So those are Apple products, but yet Apple is a technology company, but their logo and everything's a fruit. Their name is a fruit. Doesn't really have anything to do with technology. You probably don't want to even be eating while you're using technology, which I say as I'm coating this cheese block. So then there are suggestive trademarks like Netflix. Netflix is literally the internet of flicks, or of flicks, pictures, movies, stuff like that, right? Netflix. So it suggests what the product is going to do for you. So Netflix is going to allow you to have movies. So that's a suggestive trademark. Netflix. Their name is a suggestive trademark. Finally, you have secondary meaning trademarks, which this is cool, but also kind of sucks, right? So, aspirin is a secondary meaning trademark. So here's the deal with secondary meaning trademark. They're like trademarks that are so strong that they're like known as like a product like idea or something. So I guess an example would be Band-Aids. Band-Aids are, there's the brand Band-Aid, and then there's like the generic Walmart version of Band-Aid and everything. Like you can't think of another name for the product that is the bandage that is with glue and has a paper, you put a paper back. And so you can't think of another name for that. You call that a Band-Aid. Even though there's a company Band-Aid, which is that their trademark, it's like a secondary trademark, because like that's what we call that product in general, no matter if it's Band-Aid brand or not. The thing that sucks about that is that your trademark can become generic, which means that there's no way to describe it. So this is a real word, therefore we can't trademark it, right? So that goes into our next topic in trademarks. And your first case, the Lanham Act. Okay. So the Lanham Act essentially goes that there are 2 like types of problems of how like a trademark can not be a trademark anymore. One is generic, like Band-Aid, right? So at the end of the day, this is how we're going to describe this product. There's no other name for it. It is what it is. You can't necessarily relate it to your trademark. or there's abandonment. So after 3 years of no intention of using it or not using it or anything like that, with no future plans, you can lose your trademark, right? And that comes from the Lanham Act. So that's pretty much the idea of just like abandonment and generalization. There's no such thing as a trademark anymore. So with trademark disputes and everything, sorry, I love cheese. Oh my gosh. With trademark disputes, I just got one that cheese up. I didn't want you to see that. Anyway, with trademark disputes, you have to prove 3 things. 1, do you own this trademark? You're here arguing about something you don't own. Now, if Mizzou was to sit here and argue that they also have the leopard and the cheetah in addition to the tiger, they do not own some of those trademarks or like the variation of that. That is not what we know Mizzou for. We know Mizzou is a tiger. Mizzou Tigers. So no, they don't own that trademark. They also must prove that it's valid and legally protected. So it has to be registered with the trademark office and everything like that, like a value. The tiger is legally protected for Mizzou, right? Got me kind of like, somewhat like they don't have complete ownership over the tiger because there's other schools of tiger, but like their version of the tiger, or their version of like this MU like logo, which is like kind of a trademark for Mizzou, right? And the final thing is, will this confuse everybody else? Like, will this be something that will confuse consumers, right? So here's an example, and we're going to use my beloved Beyonce. So say in Texas, in Beyonce's 3rd Ward District, there's a dance studio that opens up, and they use like insignia very similar, or they just flat out use Beyonce's like Beta Delta Kappa BDK Greek letter insignia that she used for her epic Coachella homecoming performance. You know what I'm talking about. Right? So say that they use that and they call it BDK Studios or something like that. Maybe they don't even reference it, but it's the exact lettering, everything like that. And Beyonce has registered the trademark. She owns it, and it's obviously she use it, and it's in Texas in the 3rd Ward and everything. Like, people may think that's her studio, and it might confuse people. Like, that trademark and confusion might assume like Beyonce's brand is with this studio, or with her trademark is with the studio, right? That would be something where they could be like a huge trademark dispute or something like that. Or take, like, if we go back to our Mizzou example, if you walk around Columbia, and I know you've seen this, and there's so many tiger references, right? And so a lot of these businesses around here have to be very careful not to completely like piggyback off of the tiger or the Mizzou tiger brand and stuff. So they might use black and gold, but they might not use exact black and gold. They will never probably use like straight up MU. They might use a tiger, but they won't use like this tiger or like this old tiger that is here. I can't show, you know what I mean? But yeah, they might use a tiger like another type of tiger or something like that. But essentially, like, those trademarks aren't necessarily directly related to and won't be confusing to the consumer. Yeah, so that's trademark disputes. So now we have defined the 4 types, the 4 types of trademark. We, have defined disputes, and we have gone to our first case, the Layman Act. Now we go into like, I'll probably give you like 2 more cases. Yeah, okay, like let me see. Yeah, 2 cases. There were 2 cases, or there were a couple cases, but these are my favorite from class. And then I'll kind of just explain in like layman's terms a little bit more about them. Or I think these are my 2 favorite cases from class, and I'll kind of just like explain in another type of example what the outcome was and how it could affect life. So case number 1, Adidas versus Forever 21. So Forever 21, if you know about Forever 21, they be thinking they sleep sometimes a little bit, sometimes, smell a little bit. And they made like a clothing article with like 3 stripes going down, or stripes going down, shorts and stuff like that, like more athletic clothing essentially. And Adidas was like, y'all gotta relax. That's our trademark. Like, we have the 3 stripes. We have the stripes going down the side of the clothing. We have the strips, and they're like, that's our trademark, our brand. Y'all are tweaking. And Forever 21 was like, nah. And so Forever 21 and Adidas went to court over like that dispute, and you know, Adidas owns that and everything. So I like Forever 21 kind of has to prove that it's not that, and that they won't cause any confusion and everything. So that case is kind of like still going, and Forever 21 declared like, I think, bankruptcy and stuff like that, and you know, so that, who knows what's going on with that. But yeah, so essentially in that case, it's really about the confusion of the product, which all trademark disputes are really about. Does this confuse, like, does this relate to us? Does this look like it relates to us? And if so, how closely and how much, you know, confusion maybe. So here's another case, right? Hasbro versus Asus. So Asus creates laptops, like real laptops. A lot of, like, you know, our smarter people, nerds, use Asus laptops, and Hasbro, the toy company, does not necessarily create laptops. So Hasbro made like an Optimus Prime Transformer style laptop and everything like that, or like a fake laptop, like something you can do bare minimum cute kid stuff on, whatever, etc. And Asus had like an Optima Prime laptop that was like heavy duty fire, like it could do a lot of stuff. Hasbro sues Asus because they're like, your Optima Prime laptop came right after our Optimus Prime toy laptop, and it could be confusing, and you're piggybacking on her idea. And the court was like, are you serious? Like, you thought that they were going to confuse that with, basically the court was like, ain't nobody confusing no toy laptop for a real laptop. If you go buy a Hasbro product, that is a completely different type of product line and everything like that than Asus laptop. So now we get into the thing where, although like they were very similar, or conceptually maybe at best similar, they're completely 2 different industries. So there is no type of way that customers can really get confused, unless like, or at least a reasonable customer can get confused, right? So here we have the establishment that at the end of the day, if 2 things are very, very similar, if they are in different if they're in different business lines, then it can't be a trademark confusion. So this is why like Delta the airlines and Delta the Sync happen, right? So let's do like a fun little example, right? So I create a how about this? I am shooting this video on a Canon 70D, right? And so Canon, if you know Canon, you see the Canon with the cursive C. You know that Canon is a camera brand, and when you see Canon, you think camera, video, photo technologies, etc., right? So maybe I create a TV channel called Canon, and it's all cursive Canon, and it's lowercase c, but it's cursive, very similar like serif font that the Canon brand is on. And maybe even like the colors are like red and black and white. Very similar to Canon's trademark logos type everything, right? Well, if Canon saw that, that might get a little funky and want to sue me for a trademark dispute or something like that. But at the end of the day, I would be most like me creating a TV channel called Canon and not having the exact same like logo and everything like that. They would ultimately lose, because at the end of the day, like my TV channel Canon is like similar but not the same as like the video services and products that is Canon. And of course the logo isn't the same and all that stuff. So sorry Canon, you would lose. Yeah. But yeah. So that's pretty much like trademarks, or trademarks part like 1. Trademarks actually is more fun And I think like your biggest thing, what you should try to do is maybe like have fun with it and like go identify some like trademarks, brands, or logos that are similar, or like Google them and then figure out like why or why not they could have a trademark dispute, or just really like look into the previous trademark disputes, like the one against like this like author, like poet or writer or something, and what's it? Jack Jack Daniels. Like it was a whole thing where like this person used like the kind of the very similar insignia in writing and whatever. I don't know. That the Jack Daniels like thing that was so cool. And there's other like trademark disputes and stuff like that. But you should really look into them and like define them, as in why not there could be trademark disputes, or like what happened, summarize them. That'd be great. But again, this whole Unit 3, if you can make it through, if you made it through Unit 2, you can make it through Unit 3. And it's just like PR and advertising. And the kids are so much more fun and recent. You can do it. And it's the final stretch. I believe in you. And I'm so thankful it's the final stretch, because you can't keep coming to me like this. I mean, I love you, but I'm a little tired. But yeah. Go to class. You got it. Talk to you soon.